to Angels Don't Lie with Jeannie Street. Jeannie is a God-based medium, owner of In Spirit Healing Studio, and new author of the book The Goddess You. Angels Don't Lie will be a show dedicated to healing and love, and we will be taking live questions. If you have a question you would like Jeannie to answer on the show, or if you would like to contact her, send your correspondence to Jeannie@JeannieStreet.com or check out the website JeannieStreet.com. Now here's Jeannie Street.
I let the world on wake up. The trouble is I never went to sleep. I climbed the nightmares in the mountains in my dreams. Oh Lord, won't you get me back with me?
And happy Tuesday. Welcome to Angels Don't Lie. I'm your host, Jeannie Street, here on KBJB Radio. And boy, I am just so psyched up tonight about this show. I have a lot to bring to you, and I hope you guys are ready. If you want to go ahead and grab a journal and a pen, a notepad and a pen, just something to take some notes, because I think you're going to find there's going to be some messages in there for you. So back here in the Northeast, I don't know where you guys are, but we are having an amazing day. It's been in the 70s all day. Finally, sun, warm. I know we're cheering because we've had nonstop rain and cold weather, unseasonably cold. So we are really happy. And I sat outside, even though did you see the dandelion, the white pollen flying through the air today?
Yeah, it's that time of year where it's just almost like the cars start to turn green, you know.
Oh yeah,
stuff. Just a little bit of everything.
Yeah, but you could see it in the air floating today. But that was fine, and I still have this sinus thing that I'm working on, and you can't help it because we have such a big pollen year. So, anyways, I wanted to tell you a little bit about the event over the weekend. Whew. Boy, we had quite the turnout over at In Spirit. We missed you guys. I know you guys were coming from another event,
right? And
so just with the rain and all that traffic, I mean, the rain was incredible on Saturday.
Although I think that helps sometimes an event like yours. It keeps people want to go and do indoor things rather than out mowing and gardening and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
so that's great.
Yeah, and we had some amazing speakers for sure, and the lineup all day long was just pretty much running pretty smoothly. We had food from Natural Food Market. Carol came and she had made some beautiful vegetarian dishes, which were yummy and fit right in with our Amp Up Your Life theme of like raw foods and how to take care of your body. I think in Paulo came from like Portugal. I was talking about him for a couple weeks. So, everybody seemed to just love what he had to offer. So he booked up right away. Like he started appointments as soon as he was done with his talk, and like his whole day was full. So we didn't see Paulo again. He was busy.
Excellent.
Yeah. But then when I'm trying to think of the other speakers, like they all did really well. And then Andrea, she came up last and she talked about Lyme, and that's really, really intrigued a lot of people. She got a lot of walk-ins for that. And I think that affects so many people, that Lyme disease and that not feeling good all the time. And I sat with her after and had an interview in my office, which I got on tape, which is going to be, it's going to be going to my new website that I'm building. And I loved her because during her talk, she confirmed what the angels have shown me. She has the science behind everything, and I'm not the science girl, so I don't go for the facts. I just have this pure faith in what I'm shown. I don't know where I've got that, but I learned to let go and just have complete faith. So she put the science behind what I see. So I actually told her that, and she's like, I love that you told me this, because that actually makes me feel really good and confident in the science too. Like you're seeing it and then I'm getting it and I know it. So the facts and the truth are right there. They equal up.
It all comes together.
Right. And so what is that truth? That truth about Lyme disease is that Lyme is not necessarily just a simplistic bacteria and cannot be treated with just an antibiotic. Lyme ticks carry viruses. So for me, I always see Lyme as being type of an autoimmune, because once we get a virus, it affects our autoimmune. It works in the interior system of our body, kind of behind the scenes, similar to, say, mono or Epstein-Barr. And once we have one of those type of viruses and we don't know about it, it can wreak havoc on our system and we can have symptoms that we can't connect to each other, or we think it's one thing and we start to treat that one thing, but then we get another symptom over here. I have joint pain over here, but now I have some stomach pain. Well, now I have, this headache, and now I can't walk. My ankles hurt. So you can have this traveling thing and then have you get neuropathy, because the virus finally wears down your nerves. It has to go somewhere. So she brought the science forward, and it's the truth of what I know to be what the angels have shown me, that in order to work a virus out of the body, we need to take care of what I call that Candida effect. And here we go again. We're going to go around to that. Any type of illness, any type of virus, and cancer, anything that grows needs something to feed off of. It needs a host. So it's going to go to that sugar. It's going to go to that connection of that you're feeding it. So that Candida diet is really important, that no sugar, high vibrational foods, raw foods that are filled with life force essence are going to be your best bet to feel better. It's going to help you to raise your vibration and be able to fight off that virus, be able to naturally fight it off. But when our bodies are low, our systems are low from being overfed sugar, being overweight, being overstressed, too anxious, so we talk, let me slow this down. We talk about it in a mind, body, soul level in Candida, or with any illness. So how our mind is thinking. What are we reading? What are we watching on TV? Where is our mind going? Are we going to the past? Are we going to anger, resentments? Are we holding on to stuff? This is the part with the mind that we need to start to clear up and have that nice, clear, living in the moment, staying in love, having forgiveness, a clear shot. Then we talk about the body. The body, of course, what we put into our body is logical, but what we don't see, what we put into our body, is the no sleep, right? The no rest, the staying up and partying, the wanting to fit in, the stress that goes behind maybe working in a job that maybe doesn't fulfill our needs, or even just a job that's overly stressful, that wears us down and wears our immune down. That's another part, right? So then we go to the soul level, and this is our connection to spirit. This is our connection to God. When we close off that connection, when we simply say, oh, universe, or, Mother Earth, and we don't say source, God, Father, when we don't connect to that light and that energy, when we're choosing to kind of go it alone, we're choosing to be the judge and the jury, and we don't allow the room in for love, for light to bring us where we need to go. So all of these things matter in terms of healing, in terms of supporting your body, no matter what you have going on, whether it's a virus, whether it's an illness, whether it's a massive healing that you're going through. So, that just all came out of nowhere. Did you see?
Yeah, that rolled great.
Yeah. So that's when I spoke with Andrea. This was kind of the gist of what we had going on really quickly, and I feel so passionate about helping people and empowering them to be able to heal their life, to heal whatever is going on, whether it be a virus, whether it be Candida, the Lyme disease, whatever it is. So there it is. Bam.
There's a lot of people affected with Lyme disease, especially around Northeast Connecticut.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Lyme disease was born in Lyme, Connecticut, so we know that. And now there's a new strand of Lyme out, new bacteria that's going to come out, and it's supposedly very strong and very quick to affect you. So how do we take precautions to this? You know, again, if our bodies are worn down, we're a little more susceptible to getting it. And there are some natural products out there that we can use for Lyme. And actually, I'll give them to you afterwards so we can put them in the write-up.
Okay.
I probably should do a blog post on that. So that's what I'll do next week. I'll add a blog post where I'll put all those natural, things that you can do to protect yourself, your family from the ticks. Beautiful. That'll be fun. So that was Saturday, and it was a great day. I really had a lot of fun. Kathy came. She was holding my grandson. Did you get that video I sent you?
Yes, that was awesome.
So, KJ, she always plays so tough, right? And so here she was playing with the baby, and my partner here that worked with me to do Soulful Saturday, Sue, she caught her playing with Henry, and she videoed her from the stairway, like doing all baby talk with him and everything. Oh my God, it's so funny.
It was awesome. Yeah, she got right into baby mode there.
Yep. KJ, we're talking about you. Oh boy. So what else did I have to say about that event? I had to cancel my evening with Spirit last Friday because I had 2 days last week where I just had to stay home and stay in bed from the sinus.
And I'm sure that doesn't happen to you very often.
It actually doesn't ever happen to me, but I kind of let my guard down while we were away this past time, and I actually drank. Not that I drink a lot, but I had wine every night. I had a glass of wine every night. And then I actually had pizza. Like I did things I don't normally do in a row together. Yeah. And that what happens. It's that Candida effect for me. And that's where it goes.
Well, I'll bet you had a little stress going on coming up to Saturday too, right?
I wasn't stressed about Saturday. I think this little bug got into me, and that it just wiped me out. So I knew I had to rest. So I did. And I went to bed on Thursday. I think it was Thursday. Maybe it was Wednesday night or Thursday. And I had a headache, and I was asking angels, please help me. What should I do? And they told me to take a break and rest, and, to cancel Friday. So I said, okay, I'm going to cancel. I've never done that before. So I allowed everybody to keep their tickets, and I'm doing it this Friday. So if you didn't get a ticket and you still would like to come, we have plenty of room for an evening with Spirit at 6 p.m. over in Woodbury. And what is this small group reading about? Let me kind of fill you in because it's a lot of fun. We sit usually in a circle. I love to sit on the floor if we can, but if you need a chair, we do have chairs. And I start off with a nice connecting meditation usually, and bring us on a nice journey, welcoming in our loved ones. And then I go where Spirit tells me to go. Everybody in the group gets read, and we just have a conversation. We have fun. We share the messages. Sometimes we cry. Sometimes we laugh. And then we end with a special, prayer closing. Again, it's so much fun and intimate, and I think everybody gets such an amazing connection out of it.
I put it in bold on my calendar. I will be there.
You're going to be there? Oh, get out. Casey's coming to the evening with Spirit.
Well, seems like I've always put off myself. Like I've faltered keeping up in my Goddess Shoe book. So I need to get on track, and I think that will be the kickoff on Friday.
Awesome. So I've been working really hard this last week, even though I was home in bed. I worked from bed, and I've been working on this finishing up. I had written the Goddess workshop a long time ago, but now I've created these webinars, and so I all this behind the scenes stuff to make the webinar come to life. And I'm just about there. Jose helped me hook up the emails and get everything kind of finalized. So I'm going to market that. That's going to be coming out this week. And I marked it at a great price. There's 4 webinars, and they're going to be the first Monday. They're going to be every Monday in June. And they're going to be from 7 p.m. They're going to be an hour and a half webinar where you'll get the content for the workshop itself, and then we'll do question and answer and very specific angel messages to the people that are in the webinar. So the angels will talk to those people so they can have guidance. And I'm really excited about it. They'll get, what else will you get with the webinar? You'll get a downloadable PDF. So by the time you're done, it will make a beautiful booklet with some journal pages and everything. It's actually gorgeous. Carrie did a nice job designing it for me. I have a great team. I have to say, I couldn't do this without my team. Colleen Fairchild, Heather. I love you guys, and Carrie. They're just amazing. I can't say anything more about them. They're just amazing. So they always have my back. I have to say,
that's what helps it go smoother.
One of the new girls she gave a speech. Cherie actually gave a speech at Soulful Saturday, and afterwards we were talking, and she was sitting on the couch. She goes, Heather, she's really sweet. She's like right by you. She has your back, and she witnessed it. Like, she saw it without really knowing the dynamics. And I said, I know. I couldn't be more blessed. Couldn't be more blessed to have such amazing people by my side. And they're the ones I'll text and be like, what do you think of this? From my crazy ideas, whenever they come up in my head. Well, they're not crazy, but I just get a lot of I get a lot of ideas. I'm the idea girl, for sure. Spirit's always talking. So I wanted to share. Casey's really on me about sharing nutritional tips every week. He said people like it, so I hope you guys like the nutritional tips, and I'm gonna make it happen each week, where I give you one hot tip, because I think sometimes I overload with information. So today I'm gonna give you the queen of inflammation, or king. We can call it king. We can make it more of a male thing. So the king for fighting inflammation is turmeric. Why do you care about inflammation? Well, inflammation is the factor that keeps swelling. It keeps your joints in pain. It's actually a slowdown factor for a lot of people, the inflammation. It makes you move slower and feel more resistance in your body, all those aches and pains. So turmeric is actually so amazing because it will work on that level of removing that inflammation without dehydrating you, which is an important thing. So it's an herb, natural herb. I like to buy a powder turmeric, and I like to get a organic turmeric. Obviously, I think organics are the best. Ooh, I'm moving the mic, sorry. Why do I think organics are better? Because we don't need any extra pesticides. We don't need any additives. We don't need, kind of genetically modified stuff. We want to serve our body in the highest way. And not that, genetically modified foods don't serve people, because they do. I mean, we feed people all over the world with these foods. The problem for me with genetically modified on a regular basis is you don't get the same nutrients as you do from something that hasn't been genetically modified. You don't get the same vitamins and minerals, and your organs don't absorb the same then. So in order to support our organs in our body so they can function and create the white healthy blood cells and help us to fight off these bacteria and viruses that we can very easily pick up, we need to have a high vibrational food. So does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
Beautiful. So let me give you guys the number. If you want to call in, if you have a question, or if you are looking to connect to a loved one, the number here tonight is 646-891-5252. Oh, I gotta take a little stretch here. I mean, I can't, this 20 minutes in, I'm like on a roll here.
You definitely are.
What else did I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about the whole topic tonight. I didn't even bring up the show topic.
Yeah, what is the show topic?
What is the show topic? I mean, I'm totally off topic. The show topic tonight is the how-to tips for disconnecting from other people's energy. We're still working on living in our own energy, and how do we do that? Especially for people who are sensitive or empaths. This is a tricky one. I hear it all the time about, even people who are working in the holistic field stories of people leaving the holistic field because they can't do it. They're picking up energy all the time and they're sick. They're literally taking on illnesses that aren't theirs. So I do have some really great hot tips for you. And one of them is called the Twizzler. So I'm going to just leave you hanging with the Twizzler for just a little bit because I think it's funny to leave you hanging. Like,
chew on that one for a little bit.
There you go. Let's chew on that.
KJ got a comedian down here.
Yeah, KJ, we're missing you. Where are you? She's not even texting me. Usually she texts me.
We haven't gotten any callers yet, so that's probably why she's
probably on the phone with them.
Yeah, Facebooking or doing something, so she's distracted.
She says, actually, she has a question. She just texted me. She wants to know what? Let me give a shout out to my Angels Don't Lie group too. I love you guys. Rachel, who actually called, and we had a personal reading this week, and I think that went really, really well. I've been sending her great vibes all week. Jillian, I wonder how you're doing. Thinking about you. I know you have some big stuff coming ahead of you. Marianne, how's the family? Love you. And all of you guys, I just so grateful that you're all in the group, and I love having that. Oh, here is a question. She says, Kathy wants to know why she doesn't feel her loved one Michael, like she used to. That's a great question, because when our loved ones cross over, we can go into that panic zone of not being able to feel them or hear them or have their presence around us anymore. And that really has to do with us and not with the soul that's left. So I've told you this before, the one truth there's two truths I know, two universal truths. One is the soul is infinite and we can connect anytime we are open to it. That's number one. So when we are open to it, so Kathy, I suggest that maybe you take a moment to meditate, to be in your own quiet zone and out of the chaos, and put the phone down, he says, so you can actually listen. And he says smell, because I feel like he comes through and smell. He's like, it's right there, babe, it's right there. So number two, the second universal truth for you is that we all just want to be loved. So what does this mean, right? We all want love, but we all don't receive it all the time. So therefore we don't always give it. So tonight I want to give you all a little something. I want to give you love. I want to tell you that I'm sending my prayers to you. I want to tell you that you are perfect in every single way, that whatever is in the past, whatever has gone wrong, whatever you think you may have done to separate yourself from God, it is a barrier that's just a falseness. It's created out of fear. That God loves you just exactly the way you are. That all you need to do is to surrender to that and to accept that. And maybe a little forgiveness of yourself. Maybe it's a little forgiveness of holding on to that stuff that blocks you from seeing that truth, that you are love. I think that's a really important message for us all. I have to slow down. I'm talking so fast.
Well, I'm ready for the Twizzler.
Well, I'm not giving it up yet.
Come on.
I'm holding on to that one. So KJ just texted me, okay, my question is to you, do you believe in aliens? Seriously? She's going to do this to me now? Do I believe in aliens? What does that have to do with angels and loved ones? And it's not that I don't believe in aliens, but why do we have to talk about that? Gosh. No, I have no time for that. Do you believe in zombies?
No.
Hey, I think it's a possibility. I think it could happen. But does that need to be talked about?
They love it in the movies.
They do love it in the movies. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, one quick question about asthma.
Let's talk about asthma. Let's
talk about it, because my grandson went into Kathy's going to kill me because I forgot to tell her about it, but he had to go into the ER, the quick care, whatever they call it, because he gets these little fits or whatever, trouble breathing.
Right.
So they think he has a little bit of asthma, but he also had a sinus infection going on, and I don't know if it's just my daughter being somewhat overprotected, but they put him on oxygen, and now they're giving him a steroid. He's 2 years old.
Yeah, that's a scary thing. Although when they're not breathing, you kind of want that to happen. Right. I had that with my kids when they were little. Croup was a big thing for my older son. He would get. And sometimes the asthma can come from stress. Stress related in the relationships and what's going on around them. And he's only 2, but he witnesses. Right. He knows what's going on. So I can feel it. Like I can feel it up in here. It feels like it's more like in his throat than it is in his lungs for me.
Okay.
So it feels more upper. And I don't know if that's called bronchial, but that's what it feels like. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because they got the little puffer thing and
right.
Going on. So
he feels like he has a worry, like a worrier. Do you understand that?
I could a little bit, because they're, mom and dad are separated.
Right.
So.
But he feels, did you understand? Like he feels like a little bit of an older soul, like he worries. Even though he's 2, he just has that like seriousness about him.
He seems to, he's very like, go push a lawnmower, very loves trucks, garbage trucks, doesn't really care to watch a whole lot of TV, just very busybody person.
Yeah, he feels like an older soul. Exactly. Right. So, and I feel like he's internalizing what's happening. So I feel like your daughter should just, talk to him and let him know what's going on so he doesn't have to feel like constrained. Ease his mind and let him know he's okay, number one, and that she's okay.
Right.
That, that sometimes, moms and dads don't live together, but that's okay. He's still loved the same. And
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Beautiful. So you said you're not really far in the Goddess You. We haven't talked about the Goddess You in a couple.
I know. What stumped me was the journaling.
It stumps everybody because...
and it kind of stopped me cold.
I bet our listeners are saying the same thing. They're probably like, hallelujah, I'm so happy to hear somebody else say this. Because it's the truth. I mean, I remember doing it myself. I remember saying, I'm not doing this. This. And I swore. Mark the time down so you can make that little correction. But it's true. I didn't want to do it. So I fought against it and I would put my journal away and I would ignore it. And what happened is it kind of made me stagnant. I didn't move ahead. It hurt myself because the journaling is our connection to God. It's our connection to that truth. And in order to really understand our truths and understand the things that are holding us back, we have to journal. There's no other way around it. So that's why I created that journal in a fun way with those prompts to make it a little easeful.
I've been carrying it around with me. I brought it all the way to Pennsylvania.
You didn't use it.
I stare at it. I think about I'm going to do it here later, and then it's just frustrating me. So I'm hoping Friday will be a breakthrough.
It's supposed to be like on your nightstand, so you can do it either when you first wake up or you go to bed. That's the 2 times that work really well. If we get out of bed, forget it. You're done. Because if you're not in a routine of journaling, you're not going to do it. So okay. I suggest you keep it on your bedside and keep the pen in it. I always say that. Keep a dedicated pen in your journal. So you're not scrounging, you're not looking, and you can easily grab it. And it takes 5 minutes in the morning or 5 minutes before you go to sleep to journal. If you take longer, hey, hallelujah, amen, beautiful. If you don't, that's okay. But at least you've gotten it done, and then you won't be angry with yourself, right? Because then we get mad and we judge ourselves, and then we feel like we're failing and we let ourselves down. It's a vicious cycle. So if you could also kind of do it from a place of love, like I'm going to give myself this time for me. And that's a beautiful moment. Like I carry my journal. I don't have any problem now. I used to have a problem with it. And Brian will be like, what are you doing? I'm journaling, just like I got to get it out. Like I have things, God has things to say to me. I'm busy. So I used to feel so judged only because I was judging myself. And I think that's a big thing for most people is that feeling of being judged. but we judge ourselves, and we judge others harshly as well. So when we talk nicer to ourselves is when we learn to talk nicer and think nicer to others. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the Goddess You. Where did you leave off? What chapter are you on?
I was in the third chapter.
Oh, Janine, are you listening tonight? I want to know what chapter you're on. I haven't heard from Janine in a little bit, so I'm curious to see where she's at. She used to send me a little updates and let me know how she was doing. And I think that's what happens. People go, to like 3 or 4, and then they're like stopped, because that's when it gets to the big parts.
Well, it's asking you questions. You're really looking at yourself, and then
who wants to do that?
I know exactly. You're like, oh no.
Yeah, it's hard to look at ourselves sometimes, especially when we're in that judgment mode. That's why you see now why it's important, the first 2 ones about quieting your mind and then self-love. So you obviously haven't made it past self-love because you're still judging yourself.
Well, I wrote that letter, so maybe I need to go back and just kind of reread it a couple times.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
That's awesome.
I did get the letter written.
Okay, good. Beautiful. Well, I would love to hear from you guys if you know to hear from you guys where you're at in the book, or if you're having a challenge. I'd love to be able to help you get through that. Oh, KJ just said that she just texted that Janine's daughter graduated. Hey, congratulations. That's awesome. I wish her all the best. All right. So let's talk Twizzler effect.
All right.
I guess maybe I've let you hang a little long now. I gotta get a quick drink. Hold on. Hold that thought for 1 second. All right. So this is a big concept. So are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you guys ready to know how you can disconnect from other people's energy, even if they are deceased? So we'll hold energy. We'll hold it on even after somebody dies, and we'll carry those burdens around, or those resentments, or that anger, for the rest of our lives. So this Twizzler effect, and the Twizzlers I'm talking about are not the regular size Twizzlers. These are the Twizzlers that are the peel ones that have the strings. You know which ones I'm talking about?
Yeah, the real big ones.
Yeah, so you peel it apart and then there's like a string.
Right.
Okay. So when you are connected to other people's energy, it is like that. It looks like an energetic string. Your string is connected to their energy, and vice versa. People that are energy vampires, they will draw your energy to keep themselves going. That can be with drama, that can be with manipulation, that can be with, just always pulling you in. And sometimes you don't even realize that you're being pulled in. You just feel exhausted all the time. So I like to imagine this Twizzler between the two of us, the soul that's, draining you, energy vampire, we can say. And I do a quick meditation, and it can be done anywhere, where I close my eyes and I actually see myself unplugging the Twizzler from my heart center, and I bow with reverence as I give it back to them. And I take my energy back. And you can see yourself unplugging your Twizzler from them, or sometimes it's just a matter of unplugging them from you, and that does the trick. And you bow with reverence because you always want to be grateful for another person, even if they're challenging you, because they teach you how to be different. They can teach you great lessons about yourself if you're open to it. And also with compassion, because there's a reason why all people come to us. And some of those people can be the most challenging. So as we bow with reverence, thank you for the lesson. I thank you for being here. And now I give you back your energy. And I take mine back in. Amen. End of story. And that's it. It can be done in really 2 seconds. But it is amazingly effective. It really, it changes everything about you.
Do you do that kind of throughout the day, or when you have a feeling come over you?
I'll do it when I have a feeling, when I have somebody that I'm feeling really drained about.
Okay.
And how I notice this is maybe my thoughts keep going to that person, or maybe they just keep phoning me, or they just seem to keep pulling or tugging at me. And so I'll just separate, just so I can say, and I can get a clearer understanding of then, why is this person, in my face? Okay. Sometimes I don't understand the lesson right away. Sometimes I need to be unplugged. So this makes a pathway for your energy to build up and be stronger, believe it or not. And you can do it time and time again. And with like, you can sit down in a whole sitting and give all the people in your family back and your life that back their Twizzlers in one sitting, and then go take a nice salt bath, and you're going to feel like a brand new person. You're going to be hot diggity dog. I feel clean tonight. So those are really effective tips. I can't tell you. I mean, they seem like they might be silly, but they work.
Where do you get like a salt scrub?
I use Epsom salt, actually, or you can use Himalayan salt, and I get that from Salt of the Earth. And you can actually mix it in with like a soap that you like, your favorite soap in the shower. Okay. I get this seaweed soap that I really enjoy from the Natural Market downtown. I just like to have that seaweed because seaweed actually draws toxins out as well. So I think that one has like a little lavender in it. So I'll use that with a little Epsom salt. And it's not a lot of salt. It's just enough to kind of purify and clear your energy. So if you're carrying around extra people's baggage, if you're worrying all the time, if you're stressed, if you're tired, if you feel like you're not in your own energy, go ahead and try the Twizzlers. Go ahead and then take a salt bath afterwards. And please let me know. Let me know. I want to know how you feel. Go on to Angels Don't Lie on Facebook or on my Facebook page, or send me an email at jeannie@jeanniestreet.com, because I really do want to know your experience with it. Because I think these are the tips. These are the tools that the angels showed me, and I know they work amazing.
Now, do you just put that out to the universe, or do you have someone, you need to kind of have someone in mind that you feel like is causing it? Because you might be feeling some of the symptoms, but you might not know exactly
you can do
who.
Yeah, you can do it to a situation as well. Okay. You can do, so say I was doing an evening with spirit and I just felt overwhelmed by everybody in the room. Now, I don't get that way anymore because I've learned some basic tools. One is to ground myself, to be in my own energy. That's a number one important thing for anybody that's working with energy, any healer, anybody that's sensitive. You got to ground yourself. And how do you do that? You do that by placing your feet on the ground, by setting your intention and asking God to surround you with this white light of love and protection. You can go the extra step and call in Archangel Michael, who is the protector, to help reinforce you throughout the day with love, light from God, so you can feel protected. So this protection that we do each and every day is part of that armor, so to speak, that keeps that energy off. But if I wasn't grounding and I wasn't doing my clearing throughout the day and my praying and my intent sending, then yeah, I would probably go from an evening in spirit and have to disconnect from that moment. Not necessarily the people that were there, but the energy that was in the room.
Okay.
Right. And, channeling can be scary for people if they don't know what they're doing. And for people that are wannabes, wannabe channelers, there's a lot of energy work out there that's not high vibration. That's a whole nother thing I talk about in the Goddess You book, about connecting and knowing that that person that you're working with is from is working with God and working in that divine way. Because psychic energy, as I teach in my spiritual healers course, which is what I teach people, how to run energy, because you can do it, and you can do it from any point of view, but if you're not doing it from high vibration, you're going to pick up low earthly energy. And that really can be very dark and very isolating, and not at all from that God source.
Well, somewhat similar. We had Rachel's daughters that we were talking to last week, and I believe it was Kayla that could see orbs.
Yes.
Or aura.
She can see the aura. She can
Right,
see.
so
Yep.
that, if she tried to explain that to people, they wouldn't either believe her or, so then she might feel isolated or what have you.
Exactly. And it is an isolated thing. I grew up that way of not understanding what I was seeing and having the adults not understand. So I began to feel like I was lying or making it up. So that's one of the passions of why I have the center about, the healing studio, and why I share, the tips and the information with people, because one, I love I love holding sacred space, which means holding that space for you to heal and grow when you're ready for it. Holding the sacred space for the information because it's of divine nature. It's meant for all of us. It's not just for one person. They're tools for everyone. So that sacred space is important. And definitely for people like this young girl who struggles, and she's an empath, so she picks up energy all the time. I spoke with her mom about this, and she has that. And my own daughter did this. I did this in high school, and I know a lot of people's children do this. Well, they'll come home and they can take on other kids' personalities. Nowadays, we have children cutting themselves so they can feel in their body. Cutting actually, for an empath, is literally because they don't know what they're feeling. They don't know what their body's saying because they're picking up energy from all over the place. And so they want to feel something in them that's real. And that sounds crazy, but that's a whole symptom of being an empath. So how would we begin to help that child? Well, one, obviously you need to have a good therapist. You need to have a medical physician watching over them. And you also need to teach them the responsibility of taking care of their energy, of teaching them tools of meditation, of being with God, of having that connection with the divine. It's really important.
All right, we have a caller.
Okay, well.
Let me bring it in.
Do you have a name?
Kyla.
Kyla.
She's on.
Hello. Hi, Kyla.
Oh, hey, it's Kayla.
Oh, hi, Kayla. It's Jeannie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How can I help you tonight?
I was just wondering, do you know how, is there a way you could find out who your angels are? Or
well, angels don't necessarily have names. We have a guardian angel that comes with us when we're born. Some people have more than one, and from that guardian angel, we have a group of angels that work with us throughout our life, guiding us and protecting us, and being with us. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, your loved ones can watch over you as well from the other side. Your grandparents, your aunts and uncles, and they can kind of gently support you, but they won't necessarily guide you. That's the job of the beings that come directly from God, that haven't lived. Those are the angels and ascended masters and archangels.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Do you have a question about a loved one, or you were just concerned about the angels?
I was just concerned. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. I hope that helps, honey.
All right. Thanks. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that's a really good question, because a lot of people will get confused about, who watches over them. Who are these angels? Is my grandma an angel? Well, yes, your grandma's, I would say an angel, but not necessarily a spiritual being, angel from God. That's a very specific role. And because people that have lived before, they have a different role on the other side of healing and purifying. And Their job is not necessarily guiding us, through, well, I guess they do, I'm messing that up. They can guide us in a loving way with messages, but not necessarily the same way an angel can, where an angel will bring light to a situation and bring love and try to keep us reminded of God and feeling supported. And our loved ones can give us signs to bring us in the right direction, meaning like books and an actual word. Maybe it's a billboard. It can be another person actually speaking that looks like your loved one, and that will spark a healing for you. That can spark a change. That can, a whole reaction.
You said something about masters.
Yeah, ascended masters.
Ascended masters.
Ascended masters are beings that have lived before, such as Jesus, the Holy Mother, right? So
taking my notes.
Yeah,
for the podcast.
Yep, beautiful. KJ saying she texted and said that she thinks that the caller wanted the name of her angel, and yeah, I don't really do that. It's not my area. I'll tell you why. One, because I don't really hear names the same way some other people do, and I don't like to guess, so I don't even go there. Unless they're shouting at me and telling me a name from the other side, I don't even guess names anymore, because I'll get more of information around that soul. So the angels don't really say their names to me. They're just more beings of light. Yeah. That's how I refer to my angels. Not that some people can connect directly and say they know the angels' names. I can't say that they do or don't, so it's just not my thing. It's just not my area of expertise. Ow! Did you hear that? I just smacked my elbow on this new. It's this new.
The new arm
stand.
Holding the mic stand. Thought it would give you more room over there, but you're flailing around.
It's all fancy and everything. I know. So, anyways, the Twizzler effect. We like that, right? I mean, I think that's awesome.
I think that's very interesting, because I'm sure everybody can feel that, at one time or another, whether it's with a loved one who, you're trying to understand them, but if you're twisted in their energy, how would you ever be able to get any understanding?
Yeah, and even if that loved one's on the other side, so if you've been, I had this recently where I had a loved one come and sit with me, and their dad came through, and she couldn't believe her father came through because he was abusive in this life. He was sexually abusive, verbally abusive, and kind of a scattered being. So this is energy, negative energy she carried around, and carries it around, a long time after her dad passed. So we talked about disconnecting from this energy, and she was under the impression she wasn't worthy of love, and so that she wasn't worthy of like forgiveness, because from this childhood incident, she made choices. She made bad choices, choices that were against her soul, maybe. And so she felt she was unworthy of God's forgiveness. And so we talked about that, and we talked about how he was coming through in this forgiveness. He was changing that negative, low energy by saying, I'm sorry, offering her love, offering her support, and saying, you are worthy. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of that miracle. And that was a beautiful moment. So there's the empowerment that we can all take away, that in any given situation where there's low energy, where there's darkness that we might feel from another, we have the power to ask for help, number one, to send love, to ask God to surround them with love as we step away. So we don't have to take on that negative and carry it through our lives. But more times than not, I can tell you that's what I see, clients coming and sitting down and carrying that negative energy. And maybe not necessarily to that extreme, but maybe to the extreme of they can't get out of the frustration. They can't get away from the burden of what their parents did to them. So we can clean that up. That's the miracle of the messages that come through. The miracle of the person saying, I know I did wrong, and I love you. Sometimes it's...
And then the forgiveness.
And the forgiveness, yeah. And we don't, forgiveness is hard sometimes. It really is. It challenges us because we like to hold on to that stuff. We like to hoard those things and be like, nope, I am going to be the victim of my own life and you can't make me stop. I'm going to tell you these stories until I'm blue in the face. Hey, we're all guilty of that. We're all because we're human. But I can tell you, God says, you don't have to do that. Let me take that from you so you can be eased up. Your life can be more easeful, more abundant and filled with love. So you don't have to have that resent. You don't have to have that anger. It's really, really interesting stuff. How do you repel, KJ says, how do you repel bad energy? Like, for me, like repelling bad energy, it's like not getting involved. Like if you can feel energy or see energy, and most people have that sixth sense, right? And when we work with that intuition and we clean up our body so we can really feel that intuition, we can see low energy coming at us pretty much quickly. So we don't necessarily have to repel it. We just don't have to engage it. We don't have to make that choice to, say something negative, to have that conversation, to yell, to, get up in it. We can choose to say nothing. We can choose to have compassion and walk away. The high road, right? Sometimes it's much easier said than done. What are you going to say? I see you.
Well, no, because I know people can go find stuff in Facebook that bothers them.
Well, yeah, because if we're going to look for it, we're going to find it. When we're drama magnets, I had another client. She was a drama magnet, and she was like, "You're right, I am." Like she knew. She like plain out knows it, and that's the big story. Like, hey, you're calling it, you're attracting it. You're like a fly strip, one of those sticky strips on hanging, and it's all going to stick to you until
you have to be taking on that energy in a little bit.
Of course you are. And then you're bringing it home, and then your house is chaos, and then it builds and it builds and it builds. Energy is a real thing, so we got to pay attention. If our life gets out of control, well, then we got to take a step back and go, all right, I got to get this stuff. I got to get the Windex and I got to get cleaning. I got to get that sage off. I'm going to get it here. And you got to be like, I got to clear up this energy. Yeah. Did I ever tell you what the sage off when I created it? Did I tell you a story of this?
Yep.
I did. So I can't tell it now.
You can go ahead and retell it because, there might be a new podcaster listening out there. Someone listen to the podcast or listen to the show tonight.
Yeah, so when I created the sage off, well, the funny thing is I had my shoe store and I was really studying energy. It was really actually in my face. And Carrie and I were working one day, and these customers kept coming in and they were crabby and angry. And she's like, they are leaving their cobweb moods everywhere. I'm like, we need sage in here. She's like, but we can't burn in here. And I'm like, I know, because we had clothing and shoes, and I didn't want that smoke to get stuck in the merchandise I was selling. And so I researched, and I found out that I could make this beautiful spray. So I did. I made a spray, and I brought it in. I'm like, look at Carrie, I made it. And it's like, we'll call it, I don't know. We were playing around with different names. And so we originally named it F off.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. I didn't say it. But you listeners know what I'm talking about. When somebody negative is in your room and they walk away and you're like, that energy is stagnant, you just want to make it go away. So that's where Sage Off came from. So we'd be like spraying it and we'd being like, well, did you ever see that movie? Everybody saw the movie with Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, Karate Kid.
Yeah. And he's like, wax on, wax off.
Right.
Wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off. So that's kind of where we came up with, sage off, fresh on, sage off, fresh on. So we're hysterical.
I like that.
Right. So now that hits the guys, right? We got a little guy stuff. So sage off is clearing. Fresh on is bringing in new energy. So you can sage off and then you can fresh on. That's like Mr. Miyagi. Yes. So you guys can, the sage off, actually, I just made I made a whole bunch. And this time when I was making it, I did a very specific chant when I was making it. And I always pray over it anyways. So when I was doing the sage off and then the fresh on, I did this new chant, really lovely. And it's amazing. So I have them right at the studio over in Spirit Healing Studio. If you're interested, you can also order them off my website, or you can send me a message and I will just hook you up. They're $25 each. They are amazing. They'll last you quite a long time. I keep one in my car, my pocketbook. I send it to work with my husband. I told him, make sure you please spray yourself before you come home.
I say that the studio gets doused quite often, and the bottle's still hanging in there.
Yeah, see, it does. You have a little bit, but I do some refills for friends. So, you guys kind of hit that. You kind of hit that note. I'll refill you. I'll refill you.
Well, because I get cranked up right before the show starts. So
yeah. So the oils that I actually use, I get from this amazing company out in the Midwest, and they're all organic and really high vibrational. So I buy them. They're in like large containers, and I do this whole science. I have this whole science project of making the sprays. I used to do it at my house, and my son Casey would be like, "Oh, Mom, you're like making your drugs again," because the whole house smells. And I have like those droplet things. I've got measurers, and it's really scientific.
Like a big brew.
It's not scientific at all because I don't like science. I mean, I do, but I don't. So, but it's science in my mind because I made it up. It's me and my recipes. Yeah. So.
Now, speaking of a recipe.
Yes.
Remember last week we were talking about Cozumel?
What was that? Now,
I looked up a note here, and I'm not sure. We were talking, the podcast, we were talking about the cacao buzz.
Cacao buzz. So let's get that straight. Cacao.
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 Okay.
That's what my son says.
All right. I think you said Chlorella.
Chlorella.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was Cozumel last week.
That's not Cozumel.
Right. So
that's not
Chlorella.
It's not Chlorella, DeVille. It's Chlorella. It's a blue-green algae.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right. So it's a blue-green algae, high in minerals, high in iron. Blue-green algae are great for breathing issues, for lung issues as well.
Kind of like chlorophyll. Oh, yeah, exactly. Gotcha.
Oh, there you go. Now he's getting
all right.
There we go. So that cacao buzz is amazing because it will lift your energy. It feeds your organs. It clears your blood. It's just quite incredible.
I'm gonna get those ingredients again and put it in the notes. The show
I need
notes.
to have. I really want to have. I've had it on the schedule before and didn't really get anybody signing up. So here, you guys, please sign up because I'd love to do a superfood class. Love to do the superfood class because we get to sample. I make the cacao buzz, and you'll learn a lot. So hey, if you're interested, drop me a line and I'll get it on the schedule because I would love to do that. I'm gonna make a note here. So superfood class. I know June keeps saying she wants to take it.
I want to take it.
I put it on the schedule and then you don't sign up.
Yeah, I don't sign up.
So I don't know what you people want from me.
Put it out there. I'll sign up this time.
What do you want me to do? Video it? Do it all by myself and video it and then put it out? I'll do a superfood class here on air? That'll be so boring. I'll be sitting here tasting the cacao buzz all by myself and be like, oh, these goji berries are delicious. No, you guys need to come. It's got to happen in person.
Put the class out there. I'll drum up some business.
Yep.
Because I want to do it.
Yep. So believable. We've had quiet lines tonight. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. And we have a lot of listeners out there too. I don't know if they're just don't want to come in, get on the line or.
That's all right. I think that the angels really wanted me to hit the notes tonight especially about how loved you are and wanted the listeners to know over and over again. And I think that's the most important thing. Like you are loved. You don't hear it enough. You are special. You are important. And the reason you are here is because God has a purpose for you. And you've just maybe lost sight of that. So welcome. Come in. Join us. Grab the Goddess You book if you don't have it yet. I have some over at the studio. You can buy it right online. right off my website, brings you to Barnes & Noble or Amazon, and start your journey today and know that you are important. It's really the truth.
Now, you mentioned something about universal truth tonight. Now, is there like a long list of these things, or do you have 4 or 5 that are like the top hitters, from a sports analogy? But you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to stick with those 2 because I think those 2 universal truths are power-packed right now, Casey, so don't push my buttons. Number 1.
Yeah, I want to go over them again.
The soul is infinite.
Okay.
Your soul is infinite. So what does that mean? That means your soul is infinite. It's here and it's with God all the time. So when our loved ones cross over, we can still connect with them because the soul is infinite. Beautiful. Number 2, the second universal truth is that we all want to be loved. There is not one other soul out there that doesn't want to be loved. They may push love away. They may seem like they don't want love, but trust me, they just don't know how to do it. Then they need your prayers. They need your love. We need to help each other because that's why God put us here, to be of service to each other, to have compassion for each other, not to judge each other, not to look and say, hey, that guy's a jerk, or he doesn't deserve, or he's unworthy, or he's done something bad, so I'm not going to forgive him. No, God is saying, forgive him, help him, love him because I love him. He's my child. There's nobody beyond God's reach. We just have to help sometimes.
Thank you for repeating that.
You're welcome. So we're going to stick with those 2 universal truths because they're powerful. And we're going to stick with the 1 recommendation, which is our turmeric, right?
Yep.
How can you use turmeric? I think that's another cool thing. Turmeric can be used there's so much room for activity with turmeric. You can put it in a tea. You can buy a turmeric root right in a grocery store. They sell the root of turmeric where you shave it and put it in boiling water and you can just cook it down and drink that as a tea. That's amazing. You can add turmeric just like that fresh root into your fresh juice or smoothie. You can buy turmeric powder and again use it the same way. You can put it in a smoothie. You can put it on food. Turmeric is what gives the it's a golden color. So when you make Indian food, what's that Indian spice? I'm thinking curry. It's the color in curry, but it doesn't have that curry flavor. It has a little bit of a different flavor, a little bit of a spice to it. I personally like mixing my turmeric with a little ginger, because ginger also has that spice, and when we work with spicy foods, it actually brings up our alkalinity. So in a good way. So when we want to be more of an alkaline diet, more pH balance, it's a great food.
Is there a way to test the alkaline?
Yeah, you can buy pH strips. You can get them down at the health food store right here in town, the new Natural Marketplace. She's got them, and you can order them offline. And there's 2 ways. You can get saliva test strips, and you can get urine test strips. And some people actually go and have their blood tested as well. You can have your blood pH levels tested, which I believe that's what Paulo is doing this week with his microscopy.
I know that was something that I saw on his website, and I was wondering if he touched on that at all. When
he did, he touched on it in his talk, but it's called microscopy. But basically, I believe that's what he's doing, is checking the pH balance, so he can see if there's like any growth, any whatever, if you're off balance. So he's doing that this week over downstairs from me at In Spirit at Salt of the Earth. So if you want an appointment with him, I think the microscopy appointments are $250, and I think it's quite a long appointment. And Sue over at Salt of the Earth is taking those appointments, and he also is doing a lymphatic massage, and he has a method called the voter method, and this is, lymphs are another important component when we detox, especially for somebody that's ill, because the lymphs hold all the toxins. So he has a specialty in that as well. And I believe that appointment is $175. Yes. Important stuff. So I think we're at a wrap.
We're at a wrap.
I think we're at a wrap. That was, a lot of information we got out tonight.
Yeah, because maybe next week we can talk a little bit more about this alkaline acidic.
We'll talk about what I want to talk about. I'm just kidding.
Because I saw a quote from a 1930s, scientist.
It's not new stuff, right? It's definitely been around.
That no, I can't remember how they put it, but basically no bad stuff can live in your body when you're on the alkaline side. But if you're on the acidic side,
right,
you get problems.
Exactly. So we can be too alkaline though. So you do need to have
balance.
We need a balance, right? So when you're in an acidic state, you have inflammation. You're going to be ill for sure. It's like it's a precursor. And what does that mean to be acidic? We've talked about this before. Acidic is mind, body, soul, right? It's what we're putting in our body. It's all processed foods. It's
meats. I was reading
a
meats
lot of heavy meats, right? You can still eat meat on the alkaline diet. You just have to increase your vegetable intake and your fruit intake. You have to increase your alkaline intake to balance that meat out, right? So it's a fine balance. Juicing is an amazing food for working on getting in an alkaline state. I love juicing because you can start off with a juice diet, basically drinking juice 3 times a day and having meals, also having 3 meals, mostly vegetables, and your body is going to quickly, within a week, going to be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I love you. It's going to be like, yeah, jamming.
So cut out the Slim Jims.
Oh my Lanta. Yes.
I don't eat those anymore, but they used to be one of my favorites.
Barf. You guys and your crap food. I will tell you my husband's worst food. I actually sent a bottle of it over to a girl I know is stationed over in Afghanistan, Tara. And I did it as a joke. I labeled all the food, all these nice little healthy snacks. And thanks, Brian. Brian's texting me, call meat good. Yes, babe, all meat is good. We want people to eat meat.
Right.
Okay. So,
but not Slim Jims.
But not Slim Jims. No, you want to have
good meat.
Yeah, we want to have like free-range meat. We want to have high vibrational stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so his favorite food, now that he's listening, babe, I'm going to tell your dirty secret, is friggin' Cheese Whiz. And,
oh boy.
And chicken in the basket crackers. How disgusting is that? So cheese in a can that you keep in the cabinet. And when you ever see Cheese Whiz, like it gets like this hard crust that comes. Oh, it's disgusting. Yeah. So I sent it to Tara and I put it on. This is Brian's, favorite snack food. And go figure that. So I told your secret. What's my secret bad food?
I thought you'd said pizza was kind of your go-to.
Well, once in a while I'll have pizza. Yeah, that'll be like I'll crave that. I guess that would be it.
I hadn't had a chicken in the biscuit cracker in a long time.
Biscuit cracker.
Oh boy, that brings back memories. No, just
Kathy's up there probably going, I love those.
Cheese Whiz will probably blow up the podcast. I'll put that in there. They'll go crazy looking for Cheese Whiz.
Yeah, right. All right, so we are going to wrap it up tonight. It is just after 8. And I want to thank you guys for listening. And I appreciate all of you. And remember, I know what I know because angels don't lie. Have a great Tuesday.